Hey guys, welcome back to Hotspot TV, where we're bringing you the hottest people behind the hottest events. To see what's going on around you, visit us at hotspot.co. I'm Vidal Kachuku, and we're about to get started. Hey guys, welcome back again to Hotspot TV. I'm here today with Andrew Campbell, world-class rower on the Harvard lightweight rowing team. And he's going to be talking to us a little bit about the upcoming Head of the Charles race that's going on in Cambridge, Massachusetts. To find out more information, follow the link in the video below, and we're going to just hear more about what's going on. So, Andrew, first of all, thanks for taking the time to sit down and chat with me.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about what Head of the Charles is, why people should care about it. I've heard it's like National Geographic's ranked it as one of the top 5 things to do in the world before you die. But so tell us a little bit about the race.
Yeah, Head of the Charles is the kind of the pinnacle of fall rowing in the United States, and some would consider it to be the world, in the world. Normally in rowing, we race over 2,000 meters, 6 boats across, and you progress from heats to semifinals to finals. And it's just the first boat across the line wins. But in the fall, we do a different kind of racing called head style racing that's over longer distances, and the start is staggered, so you're racing for time.
Okay.
And so in the fall, the Head of the Charles is the largest of those head race regattas in the US. I believe it's the largest 2-day regatta in the world.
Okay.
I think close to 500,000 people will come to watch it.
Wow.
And yeah, it's grown substantially over the last 50 years. It started out as just kind of a way for a reason for people to stay in shape during the fall season, but it's turned into a fiercely competitive event.
Okay. So let me get this right. So you say this is head racing versus the other style of racing, and for people to stay in shape. So is it that the main rowing happens in the spring then?
Correct. The main seasons for rowing are the spring and the summer.
Okay, fantastic. So, all right, so why don't you also talk a little bit about just how competitive of a race this is. Do people come in from all over the world to do it, or is this something that's really just for US and Northeast?
Yeah, it's a cool regatta because it brings together all like areas of the sport of rowing. You have everything from the 80-plus Masters single, who are guys who've been rowing for 40, 50 years.
Like 80-year-olds?
Like 80-year-olds coming down the course.
That's crazy, okay.
To you have junior rowing, kids that have been rowing for 1 or 2 years, and they can be in anything from a single all the way up to an 8.
Okay.
And then you have colleges, so you'll have all the colleges will be racing in either an 8 or a 4. Okay. The premier event for them being the championship 8.
Okay. For lightweight and heavyweight.
For heavyweight to be the champ 8, and for lightweight to be the lightweight champ 8.
Okay.
And then all the way up to you have international Olympic superstars coming from all over the world to contest some of the other championship events.
Okay.
And so I'll be racing in the championship single.
Wow.
Which is drawing a number of Olympians and very high caliber athletes from all over the world.
Oh, that's crazy. I had no idea. So, all right. So I have heard a little bit about just how much you've achieved as a rower. And for those of you who don't know, this is an extremely competitive sport, ranging from single individual racing to, as you mentioned, 8-person boats. So why don't you talk before you talk about your achievements, about how you got into rowing? Because I hadn't even heard of rowing until I got to college.
Yeah. Rowing exists in pockets around the United States. There's certain regions where it's incredibly popular and certain places where it's completely unheard of, as you were saying.
Yeah.
And so I got into it kind of by chance. When I was younger, I moved to Connecticut in 7th grade, and I liked being on the water. Yeah. And, boating is fun and everything. And so I figured the town over from me had a rowing club, and my school kind of had it was a rowing club associated with it. Wasn't a varsity sport when I started. Right. And so I just figured I'd give rowing a try. I really liked the physicality of it, kind of the way that training rewards you in small little increments, and so just stuck with it.
That's really, really impressive. So, all right, so now talk a little bit about starting out when you were younger, high school, and then now being an Olympic aspiring rower. First of all, what have been your achievements, I guess at the world level and at the college level?
Yeah, so I started out at a pretty young age as a 7th grader.
Okay.
Early in my career, I was getting a lot of experience in smaller boats, so like the single and the double is what I primarily rode in high school. I came to Harvard, rode for the Harvard Lightweights, where I was in an 8, the Harvard Lightweight 8 for... I ended up rowing for Harvard for 3 years. I took a year off before the London Olympics to go out for the lightweight double.
Jeez.
And so during the summers in college, I continued living in Cambridge, and I would row the single.
Okay.
And then I've gone on to race the single at the U19, U23, and Open, or they call it Senior World Championships.
Wow. Okay, so how did you do, first of all, at the London, when you were trying out for London?
Yeah, so my Olympic event is the double, the
Okay.
2-person boat. And so we ended up winning the U.S. Olympic trial.
Okay.
But there's kind of there's a specific qualification system in rowing where in order to qualify your country for the Olympics, you need to finish in the top 11 in the previous year's World Championships. In this case, the 2011 World Championship.
Okay.
And in our case, the U.S. had not finished high enough to automatically qualify, so we went through something called the late qualifier, in which all the countries that had finished outside of that top 11 in 2011 raced for 2 spots to go to the Olympics. And so after winning the U.S. Olympic trials, we finished 3rd at that race. So came devastatingly close to the Olympics, but just missed out on a chance to compete in London.
Dang.
Yeah.
Okay, but then you're going for Rio, right?
But now, back at it, going for Rio.
That's incredible. So, and then how did the, so you said you did singles for U17, U18, U19, or what were they?
Yeah, for junior, which is U19, under 23, and then senior.
Okay, so and how did those go?
Good. My first international medal was a bronze medal as the U19 men's single in 2010, and then since I think I've done 9 national teams total, and I'm a 2-time under 23 world champion in the men's lightweight single.
Seriously?
And I have a bronze medal from 2012 at the senior level.
That's really nuts. You're like the rowing Michael Phelps, I feel like. Seriously.
Working on it.
Yeah. So, I mean, because looking at you wouldn't necessarily assume, I guess, like you're this world-class rower. What would you say there's anything distinctive just about, do you have just a natural affinity for rowing? And what is your workout regimen like? Because it has to be constant. You have to be constantly training to be that good.
Yeah. So I'm a lightweight, so I'm allowed to be smaller, which is good because otherwise someone of my size wouldn't really be able to compete. Rowing is a sport where height is a big advantage. You just have longer levers. So I compete as a lightweight, which is under 160 pounds with a boat average of 155 pounds. And training is a lot of mileage. It's a lot of time in the boat, just... like the saying goes, you just need 100,000 repetitions of something before you gain proficiency at it. And so it's a lot of just strokes, getting in, a number of reps until the motion, which the motion of rowing is not necessarily a natural thing. We're not born knowing how to pull an oar like we are born knowing how to run. So in order to become good at it, you have to do it just so many times. What
is your workout routine like daily? What time do you wake up? How many times a day do you row? Do you do any cross training like running or cross country skiing or anything like that? What is it like?
Yeah, we typically, so I'm working with a group of 3 other guys right now, all sculling, competing for a spot in the double. And our schedule typically consists, we start between 6:30 and 7:30 a.m. And we do our morning workout together always, which normally consists of the harder work of the day. It normally lasts for about 2 hours, 2.5 at 3 at the longest. And then we'll come back in the afternoon for either a lift and another row or maybe a bike or a run. The afternoon practice is more flexible, and we kind of dial our training volume back and forth depending on, how everyone's feeling.
Wow. Okay. That's incredible. Now, so you've certainly achieved a great deal at your level, and it's earned you, as you were telling me earlier, a sponsorship by Red Bull. How did they become aware of your performance? Was it something you reached out to them, or is it something that they contacted you?
Yeah, so when I was in college, I was not allowed to sign with any like endorsement deal or anything like that. It's all banned. So it came about after I finished rowing for college, rowing for Harvard. And they, I think, came across me just doing Google searches of rowing, and they were looking for, a single sculler young guy, and so I sort of fit their mold of what they were looking for in an athlete, and just kind of got to know them. We have kind of a similar outlook on things. We both both their organization and myself enjoy kind of breaking the mold and like pushing the sport. So it's been a great fit so far. I've loved working with them.
That's cool, man. So they pay for you to go out and compete and train, or
they help offset competition and training costs. And they have a ton of resources, like a ton of like physiological testing resources and media training and all stuff like that. That's been enormously helpful.
Wow. Okay, so now talking a little bit about costs and expenses and lifestyle in general, you being an aspiring rower, I mean, Olympic aspiring rower specifically, is as difficult training for any other kind of sport you would want to train for at that level, but it's not like European soccer players where you're getting millions and millions of dollars to play games. So how do you balance, or how do you anticipate balancing training at that, or to compete at that level, but then having to work and having to provide for yourself? And how does Red Bull step in there, and do they help you with just kind of daily living expenses?
Obviously we're amateur athletes, like true amateur athletes. Don't really, I guess I'm technically a semi-professional athlete, but we are amateur in the sense that like when I graduate from school in December, I have to start a job and work to offset my living costs and everything. So Red Bull puts a dent in it, but the large balance of everything will come from me working. And we'll, some of the guys in the training group now work and train. I'm in school and training, so it's just a balance in that we can get enough hours in the day to effectively support ourselves, but also stay focused on the main goal of making the boat for 2016.
Yeah, that's incredible. And so 2016 is the goal. Is this something you think that you maybe want to do once, or you want to do as many times as you can? And how long does the average rower last? What's your prime? Question. What's that age?
So the peak age for rowers is late 20s, early 30s.
Okay, cool.
So I'm 22 now, so I have quite a number of years left in me if I want to see my career out to its full potential. That being said, it's hard to say, commit right now. I'm going to be rowing in the next quadrennial. It's one of those things that I think if you ask any rower, they'll tell you the same thing, that you just get through one quadrennial at a time, and after the next Olympics, I'll make a decision about moving forward. Wow.
That's incredible, man. I don't know what else to say other than just good luck, and
thank you.
And I wish you the best of luck. I think that I'm always amazed and impressed. I was talking to you off camera about Austin Meyer, who's just another impressive world-class rower, and just I know how much, or at least I have an idea of how much he trains, and to hear that you're at that level just as good, if not better in some areas, it just blows my mind. So we'll be wishing you the best of luck at the Head of the Charles this weekend. You guys definitely come check it out. Andrew Campbell, he's going to be rowing, you said singles, right?
Single, and I'm also in the Championship 8. We've put together we're calling it the Lightweight Great 8.
Yeah. Okay.
And so it's scullers from a couple different countries all coming together in 1-8, and we're going to contest the Championship 8. So check that out on Sunday, singles on Saturday.
Okay, fantastic. Well, we're not going to take up too much of your time, Andrew. Thanks again for giving me the chance to chat with you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Good luck this weekend. You guys definitely come check him out ahead of the Charles, just along the Charles River. Lots of great food, great rowing, and just great competition. So thanks again for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.